Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I have a review for you guys. We're going to be taking a look at the Wingflex A320 FCU Cube, which is this one here. And we also have the Wingflex MCDU to check out. Big thank you to Wingflex for sending these over. Let's head straight in and check out the unboxing experience. Alright, so we have both the FCU and the MCDU. And we're going to go with the unboxing. We're actually going to start with the FCU Cube. So, get this out of the way. All right, so let's go ahead and open the box up. Nice, easy packaging to open. We have the quick start, the quick installation guide, which is basically the simplest information that you need to get started, and just attaching the stand mostly, and some reminders on the back, as well as information on firmware upgrades. All right, I'm gonna get the box up. First, let's check out here. So in here is the legs for the stand, if you want to have that stand up on your desk. So here's the screws, other leg, and they include a screwdriver. That's an interesting, I don't know if that gets picked up on here. Basically Allen key in screwdriver form, but that's nice to have include that. And the USB-A to C cable, and that's all for the accessories. Get to the main event. Ooh. Oh, and I like this. I haven't even taken it out of the box and I already like, it's like, I can feel the metal. It's cold. Oh, look at that. That looks really nice. This isn't a full-sized MCP. This is like actually, it's mini-sized. Ooh, I like the feel of those. You push and pull. I'm curious now, this is one thing. It has the pull, but it's a decent amount of force to do that. I'm curious if it's gonna slide when it's on the stand, so we'll try that out. Buttons feel good, and they have actually brightness knobs on the bottom, which is nice for the backlight and the displays. And that's pretty much it. This is the FCU Cube, and now on to the MCDU. So now's a good time to mention that Wingflex did send these over for review, but they don't have any control over what I'm doing in the video or what I'm going to say about their products. So all these are my genuine reactions and opinions about these products, but so far I'm impressed with the FCU. Let's see how this. Ooh, you know, it's always fun. You see these in the sim, and you work with them on the Phoenix, fly-by-wire, and all that. But seeing kind of one in person is something else to see for some reason. Ooh. It's something else to see one of these in person for some reason. It's kind of like, ooh, that's really special. So let's see. Let's start with this on the side. So there's a small pouch that comes in. This looks like the stand. Yep, that's the stand. And that's a nice metal construction. Let's see. Ooh, okay. Does it come apart, or is it just... Ooh, okay, there it goes. That's a good feeling thing. And then it looks like you height adjust it like so. So this is the bag that this came in. I do wish this bag was actually big enough to fit the MCDU. You're not always going to use this, and this is something that I would really like to protect from dust. So if the bag was, say, big enough for the MCDU, it would really be nice to kind of protect it when you're not going to be using it from dust and stuff. But here's the actual product, the MCDU. Buttons are nice and clicky. I actually have no idea what an Airbus MCDU is supposed to feel like. All the buttons feel good though. They feel pretty much identical across the board, no variants. Even the ones without labels are clicky buttons. This is a 1-to-1 size to a real A320 MCDU. And in the package there's some hardware screws if you wanted to screw this in somewhere. I don't know if it attaches to the stand. Doesn't look like there's, maybe it's in case you wanted to attach it to something else. And the USB-C to A cable. Oh, and there is also a switch on the back. You could do left or right, and these also both just have one USB-C, and on the back one USB-C on the FCU. So I imagine there'll be information on their website about this product as well, since there's no paperwork included. You do have to go to the website anyways to download their software to get these working. So next step, we'll go download the software and get these plugged in. Now heading into actually using these products, first up is the A320 FCU. This has been really nice to use so far. Mini-sized, you might be able to tell. I believe it's about 30% smaller. That's my best guess of how much smaller it is compared to a one-to-one representation of the A320. Setup was super easy. Getting these feet on was the only hard part, just trying to get the screw in the right way. Colors look great. It's a metal frame, and I think the front is plastic. Now to get this running, you need to download the Wingflex Bridge software, which is available on their website. It's a download and you just run it. It's not really an install. It just kind of runs. It doesn't install anything. It creates a log file, but it's as simple as that. With the program running, plug this in, has one cable on the back, and that just plugs into your computer via USB-A, and you're done setting it up. It's that easy. And that's exactly the same way as the MCDU. It is just literally plug it in, one USB-C cable, and you're ready to go. These things are working. In the software, you can click on each one of these individually and it'll turn on, and you can play with them and test all the buttons to make sure they work before even launching into the sim. The software also makes it really easy to update the firmware for these, both the Cube and the MCDU. You just unplug the USB cable, and for this one, you hold down the localizer button, plug the cable back in. The software recognizes that you're in firmware update mode. You can go ahead and update, and you're done. It's that easy. So I'm just playing around with these right now in the Phoenix A321, but this just works. All you have to do is have the software plugin running, but it just works. Like, I don't know if I can get this in the same frame. It just works. There's nothing else that needs to be done. It just works. And like, I don't know, this sort of stuff just, it blows my mind how easy this was to work. And it just works. I love this. And these are so responsive. I love this so much. These knobs feel really nice to use. Push and pull feels pretty good as well. The buttons as well feel really nice. I like being able to just look down and grab a knob if I need to and change something real quick, like altitude or heading. And I even thought of a really fun use case. If you're in the like a wing view mode and you're just enjoying the views and you're on VATSIM and you get an ATC instruction to change a heading, you can do that from that view. You have this physical thing. You don't need to go back into the cockpit when you're enjoying the view. It's that easy. This one also has knobs on the bottom for the brightness of the numbers and the backlight. That as well gets represented in the sim as you move those knobs. Now the Cube is compatible with a lot of different aircraft. You have the fly-by-wire A320 Pro Sim, A320 Airsoft A330, all the Phoenix, the INI A310 and 20 V2, and the Headwind A330, 900, and 800. And that's just from Microsoft Flight Simulator. Only thing that I found that kind of doesn't work exactly is on the Headwind A330, the 100 to 1,000 foot knob here. That one doesn't change when you use it in the aircraft. I imagine that's because they're updating it a lot. Maybe Wingflex did their stuff with an older version of the aircraft. And it's also compatible with some other sims in X-Plane. You have the Jar Design A320, Flight Factor A320, the Tolis A320 and A320 Family and A330, the Tolis A340, and the Airbus A320 in X-Plane, but maybe they mean the A330 in X-Plane. For P3D, just have Pro Sim and the G-Hell A320 FMGS. The biggest complaint I have with this, unfortunately, is to do with the stand. It's great for sitting on your desk and moving the knobs, but it doesn't have enough friction, so if you're just going to be like pushing, say, the localizer button, this is going to move backwards. You kind of have to, you can kind of hold it with your hand as you push the button, and the same goes for the knobs pushing in and pulling out. The unit will move, but that is basically my real only complaint with this. It'd be nice if there was an inclusion of maybe some more sticky feet that you could stick to the bottom of these to kind of just help it from moving along your desk. Moving on to now the MCDU. Like I said with the Cube, super easy setup that we went over earlier. It's plug and play. When you load into the sim with a compatible aircraft, it literally just lights up with what it is, and it's great. The whole thing works as intended. The buttons do feel really nice. It's a plastic front and the buttons are kind of rubberized. They have a good sound to them as you click. They actually do take a little bit of force to push in, which I like. Some of them have a little, if you can hear, kind of sounds like the board inside maybe is flexing a tad when you press on the more extremity buttons sometimes, but that's basically the only complaint I have about the buttons. Everything feels great on this. Does come with this stand. It kind of spreads out and it has legs, has adjustments that kind of line up with some of the holes there for different angles that you have, which is great. Good amount of adjustment. You can attach the MCDU to this stand. There's screws on the back that you can take off, and then you screw through these gaps here, and that will hold it to the stand. The screws are just about long enough. They're, I think, a tad short for what I would like, because you only get about half a turn before they're pretty much tight. And again, the color of the device I think looks really nice. They did a really good job matching the color of this to the real A320. The font on this also looks fantastic. There's some small things. If you look really close between like the Phoenix and what's on here, you'll notice some small differences, but if you're not looking for those, you're not gonna notice them. Like the slash on some areas is slightly different. I think the 6 and the 9 are slightly different, but that's mostly it that I've noticed that is different. Backlight brightness is linked to the sim. If you change the backlight brightness in the sim, it'll change for the device as well, which is amazing. Brightness also changes both in sim and on this display. The biggest complaint I have with this is the backlight color is just a little different from what you see in the sim, and also compared to the FCU. It's a little bit more orange or amber than what you see in the sim or what's on the FCU Cube. That's basically the biggest complaint I have about this. Otherwise, I love this. It's fantastic to use. I love this thing. It makes me want to actually program my flight plans and do everything manually instead of just importing via SimBrief, which I've gotten used to doing. But now I just want to keep programming it in all on my own. Now there's one more big problem that I have with the Wingflex, both the A320 MCDU and the FCU. And that is, now after using both of these and really enjoying my time with them, is I want more. I want to have more stuff for more aircraft. Like with the FCU, I got used to being able to dial in, you know, my heading, my speed, my altitude, and playing with the autopilot like that. And I've almost instinctively reached over to the side to try and adjust the map or my altimeter, and it's not there. And having really enjoyed that, it's like, I want the add-ons for it now. The same thing is true for the MCDU. I'd love to have more of these for different aircraft, like the 737, the 777. Even if they make one for the MD-11, I would get that. The 747, I would love to get more of these. At the moment on the website, they say this is compatible with the fly-by-wire A320 and the Phoenix A320 family in Microsoft Flight Sim and X-Plane. It's compatible with Flight Factor A320 and the Tullus A319, 20, and 21. It does say, if you go into like the test menu for this, that it is compatible with the Headwind A330, but I have found with both the fly-by-wire A320 and the Headwind A330, this doesn't actually work with those. The website says one thing. The only thing on there that doesn't work that I can verify is the fly-by-wire, and that may be because they are updating it and things are changing all the time with the fly-by-wire. I haven't been able to verify X-Plane use really with either the MCDU or the FCU just because I don't have any of the aircraft that they're compatible with. Now, finally, for price-wise, the A320 FCU Cube is being sold for $200, and in the description there's actually $20 off this. So in the description there's a code, you can get $20 off this when you purchase it. And the A320 MCDU is going to be sold for $600, but at the time of recording, it's actually being sold for $500. That price is probably going to be one that people see and be like, whoa, and actually want to go maybe to like Winwing and get something because they are about 4 times cheaper. Now that is a lot of money, but it is a fantastic user experience. I've loved using this, and I'm going to be continuing using this anytime I basically fly the Phoenix A320 or any other Airbuses that are compatible with this. I know Wingflex makes a 737 777 FMS as well as a full-size A320 FCU. I'd love to get the chance to test those out anytime, because if they're as good of a user experience as using this A320 MCDU and the FCU Cube are, I know those will be a fantastic experience using those as well. Hope you guys enjoyed the video taking a look at the Wingflex products. Thanks again to Wingflex for sending over both the MCDU and the FCU Cube. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of the products, and I'm going to see everyone in the next video. Bye-bye.